Imagine this. It's a quiet Thursday morning in Paris. A 60-year-old man steps out to walk his dog. Suddenly, four masked men appear, force him into a van, and vanish. Hours later, his son, a wealthy cryptocurrency entrepreneur, receives a chilling video. His father, bound and injured with a severed finger, pleading for help. The kidnappers demand a ransom between 5 and 7 million euros. This isn't a thriller plot. It happened just days ago in the heart of France. In this video, we delve into the harrowing case of a 60-year-old man abducted in Paris, whose captors severed his finger and sent a video to his son, a wealthy cryptocurrency entrepreneur, to demand a ransom of €5 to 7 million euros. We'll explore the details of this chilling incident, the swift police operation that led to his rescue, and the broader implications of a disturbing trend, the targeting of individuals connected to the cryptocurrency industry for ransom. Stay tuned as we uncover how this case reflects a growing security concern for crypto investors worldwide. The man at the center of this chilling ordeal is Jean Bernard Lafonta, a 66-year-old titan of French finance. He's not just anyone. Lafonta was once the head of Wendel, one of France's most powerful investment groups, managing billions and shaping industries. He moved in elite circles, dining with executives and advising on high-stakes deals. But what made him a target wasn't just his past, it was his present. Lafonta is the father of a crypto billionaire, a man whose digital fortune made him a glowing red dot on a criminal's radar. Residing in Paris, Lafonta led what looked like a calm post-career life. But behind the scenes, his family's immense digital wealth made him a vulnerable entry point, a weakness the kidnappers were ready to exploit. So, who is this mysterious son, the man the kidnappers were really after? His name hasn't been made public, and that's no accident. Authorities are keeping his identity tightly guarded, but what we do know is this. He's a high-profile figure in the world of cryptocurrency, tied to a startup valued in the hundreds of millions, possibly even over €1 billion. Some reports suggest he's connected to Ledger, the French hardware wallet giant, though police have not confirmed this link. He's young, rich, and moves through digital corridors where fortunes are made overnight and sometimes stolen just as fast. And that wealth, it's not locked in a bank, it's online, it's fluid. And the kidnappers knew exactly what that meant. No guards, no vault, no delays. If they could scare him enough, they believed he'd pay instantly. What they didn't expect was that this son, terrified, yes, would make a very different choice. He called the police. It all started on the morning of May 1st, 2025, a national holiday in France, when most streets are quieter than usual. Jean Bernard Lafonta was out in the 16th arrondissement of Paris, one of the wealthiest and most secure neighborhoods in the city. He had no idea he was being watched. Suddenly, a delivery van with no markings pulled up beside him. Four masked men jumped out. It wasn't a mugging. It wasn't random. In broad daylight, they forced him into the van, shoved him down, and disappeared into the Paris suburbs without leaving a trace. No screams, no phone calls, no struggle caught on camera. It was a precision abduction, clearly pre-planned and executed like something out of a heist film. Their destination? A private residence in Val de Marne, a quiet suburb just outside the capital. That house would become Lafonta's prison for the next 48 hours. Once the kidnappers had Lafonta locked inside their hideout in Val de Marne, the real game began. They weren't interested in his wallet or his watch. They wanted something far bigger. Within hours, Lafonta's son, the crypto mogul, received a chilling message. It wasn't just a phone call or a text. It was a video. In it, Jean Bernard Lafonta was visibly injured, clearly restrained, and visibly terrified. The message? pay between 5 and 7 million euros in cryptocurrency or things would get worse, much worse. The kidnappers had done their homework. They knew his son had the means to pay. No banks involved, no transfer delays, no paper trail. They were betting on panic, on guilt, on fear, and to drive that message home, they sent something no parent should ever have to see: physical proof that their threats were real. They didn't just demand a ransom, they demanded obedience through terror. What happened next pushed this case from frightening into horrifying. To prove they were serious and to force the son's hand, the kidnappers took a brutal step. They inflicted harm on Jean Bernard Lafonta, not just threats, not just bruises. According to investigators and media reports, the captors severed one of his fingers. Then they filmed it. That clip was sent directly to his son, a digital nightmare that combined blood, pressure, and psychological warfare. This wasn't just about money anymore. This was a message. You have the wealth, we have the power. It's the kind of tactic designed not just to scare, but to traumatize, to paralyze someone with fear, to make them act without thinking. And for a brief moment, it worked. The son was shaken, devastated, but instead of transferring crypto, he made another call to the police. Imagine being in his shoes. You just received a video of your own father injured, frightened, and brutalized, all because of your success. For Lafonta's son, this wasn't just a threat. It was a direct attack on everything he loved. The kidnappers thought they had him cornered, that the fear would be enough, that a quick crypto transfer would buy his father's life. But instead of giving in, he did something bold and dangerous. He called the police. Despite the emotional pressure, he understood the risk. Once you pay, you validate the tactic, and there's no guarantee they'd let his father go. So, working in complete secrecy, he collaborated with France's elite anti-gang police unit, the Brigade de Répression du Banditisme. Every hour counted. Every move had to be precise. And behind the scenes, one of the most intense manhunts in modern French criminal history had just begun. The moment Lafonta's son contacted the authorities, the case went straight to France's elite crime unit, the Brigade de Répression du Banditisme, or BRB. These aren't your average detectives. This unit specializes in high-risk kidnappings, armed robberies, and organized crime. They knew what they were dealing with: professionals. The investigation moved fast. First, they began tracing the digital trail, analyzing the ransom messages, phone pings, and metadata from the video. At the same time, they combed through Paris surveillance footage, narrowing their focus to the 16th arrondissement, where Lafonta was last seen. Then came the breakthrough. Witnesses had spotted a suspicious van near the location on May 1st, same time, same day. That lead pointed them toward a quiet neighborhood in the Val de Marne suburb, southeast of Paris. By May 3rd, just 48 hours after the abduction, the police had locked in a location. They were ready to move, but they had to do it carefully because Lafonta was still alive and still inside. On the morning of May 3rd, just 2 days after the abduction, the French police made their move. Acting on intelligence gathered through surveillance and digital tracking, the Brigade de Répression du Banditisme BRB located the house in Val de Marne where Jean Bernard Lafonta was being held. The operation was swift and precise. Officers stormed the residence, apprehending the suspects and rescuing Lafonta. He was found alive, though injured and traumatized, but safe. The suspects, aged between 23 and 27, were taken into custody without incident. The successful rescue was the result of rapid coordination between the victim's son, law enforcement, and specialized units, showcasing the effectiveness of prompt action in such critical situations. The operation was swift and decisive. On the evening of May 3rd, armed police raided a house in the Essonne area, approximately 20 kilometers south of Paris. Inside, they found Jean Bernard Lafonta alive, though injured, and arrested 5 suspects on the spot. The suspects, all men aged between 20 and 27, were taken into custody and are currently being questioned by authorities. The state prosecutor confirmed that the victim is the father of a man who made his fortune in cryptocurrencies and that the crime involved a ransom demand. This incident is part of a disturbing trend of kidnappings targeting individuals connected to the cryptocurrency industry in France and neighboring countries. Earlier this year, David Balland, co-founder of the crypto firm Ledger, was abducted and had a finger severed with a ransom demand of 10 million euros. In another case, the father of a French cryptocurrency influencer was kidnapped, beaten, and doused in petrol. French authorities are intensifying efforts to address this growing threat to the crypto community. Following the successful rescue operation, French authorities addressed the media to shed light on the case. A spokesperson for the Brigade de Répression du Banditisme (BRB) stated, "This operation was a testament to the swift coordination between law enforcement units and the victim's family. The perpetrators targeted Mr. Lafonta not just for his own prominence, but because of his son's significant involvement in the cryptocurrency sector." The police emphasized the growing trend of criminals exploiting the anonymity and liquidity of digital assets, making individuals associated with cryptocurrency particularly vulnerable. "We urge those in the crypto industry to be vigilant. The very features that make digital currencies attractive also pose unique security challenges," the spokesperson added. The BRB is now collaborating with cybercrime units to develop strategies aimed at protecting high-profile individuals in the digital finance world from such targeted attacks. Cryptocurrency has revolutionized the way we think about money, offering decentralization, anonymity, and instant transactions. But these very features also make crypto holders attractive targets for criminals. Unlike traditional bank accounts, crypto wallets can be accessed with a private key, a string of characters that, if obtained, grants full control over the assets. There's no need for physical access to a bank or approval from financial institutions. This means that if someone can coerce you into revealing your private key, they can transfer your funds instantly with little chance of recovery. Moreover, crypto transactions are irreversible and pseudonymous. Once funds are sent, they can't be retrieved, and tracking the recipient can be challenging. This makes ransom payments in cryptocurrency particularly appealing to kidnappers. The rise in crypto-related kidnappings isn't just a series of isolated incidents, it's a growing trend. Criminals are adapting to the digital age, and as more wealth is stored in cryptocurrencies, the incentive for such crimes increases. It's a stark reminder that with great financial innovation comes new security challenges. Crypto investors must remain vigilant, not just online, but in their personal lives as well. This harrowing incident is not an isolated case. In fact, it mirrors a series of similar attacks that have shaken the cryptocurrency world in recent months. Back in January 2025, David Balland, co-founder of the French crypto firm Ledger, and his wife were abducted from their home in central France. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of 10 million euros in cryptocurrency. To pressure payment, they severed one of Balland's fingers and sent a video to his business partner. Fortunately, both were rescued by elite police units and several suspects were arrested. In December 2024, the father of a French crypto influencer was kidnapped in eastern France. The attackers restrained his family and later found the victim beaten and doused in petrol in Normandy. These cases are part of a disturbing pattern. Criminals are increasingly targeting individuals connected to the cryptocurrency industry, exploiting the anonymity and liquidity of digital assets to demand ransoms. French authorities are intensifying efforts to address this growing threat, but the trend underscores the need for heightened security measures among crypto professionals and their families. This wasn't just a physical assault, it was a calculated psychological attack designed to break the victim's will and force compliance. The kidnappers employed a methodical approach, isolating the victim, inflicting harm, and sending graphic evidence to his son. This tactic wasn't merely about causing pain, it was about instilling fear, urgency, and helplessness. By severing a finger and sharing the footage, they aimed to create a visceral reaction, leveraging the son's emotional bond to his father to expedite the ransom payment. This form of psychological warfare is increasingly common in crypto related kidnappings, where the perpetrators exploit the immediacy and anonymity of digital currencies to their advantage. Such tactics are designed to destabilize the victim's support network, making them more susceptible to the kidnapper's demands. It's a stark reminder that in the digital age, the threats to personal security are as much psychological as they are physical. We're living in what experts now call the digital danger era, a time when our wealth, privacy, and personal security are all interconnected online. As cryptocurrency transforms the financial landscape, it brings enormous opportunities but also unprecedented risks. Today, criminals no longer need to crack safes or rob banks. Instead, they target individuals whose wealth exists in digital wallets that can be emptied with the click of a mouse. The kidnapping of Jean Bernard Lafonta wasn't just about physical violence. It was about exploiting the invisible vulnerability that comes with digital wealth. Unlike traditional money, cryptocurrency moves silently, instantly, and irreversibly. Criminals know this, and it makes every crypto investor a potential target. The line between digital security and physical safety is becoming blurred, and anyone involved in cryptocurrency must now grapple with the frightening reality that their digital assets could put their loved ones at risk in the real world. But there's another unsettling question that investigators can't ignore. Could this kidnapping have been an inside job? The precision of the crime was striking. The kidnappers knew exactly when and where to find Jean Bernard Lafonta. They knew his daily routine, his connections, even the financial capabilities of his son. This level of knowledge suggests that someone possibly close to Lafonta or his son could have leaked critical information to the kidnappers. Authorities are currently digging through Lafonta's personal and professional circles, exploring whether a trusted employee, a friend, or even someone from the inner crypto network provided vital intel. If this theory holds true, it reveals an even darker side to the crime: betrayal. It underscores the chilling possibility that in the digital age, threats don't always come from strangers. Sometimes they're closer than you think. Now that the suspects are in custody, all eyes turn to justice. The five men, aged between 20 and 27, face severe charges: kidnapping, attempted extortion, aggravated assault, and criminal conspiracy. French prosecutors have confirmed they're pushing for the maximum possible penalties under French law, which could mean decades behind bars for each suspect. Authorities have made it clear that this case will serve as a powerful example intended to deter future crimes targeting cryptocurrency holders. But the investigation doesn't stop here. Law enforcement is actively exploring potential connections between this kidnapping and broader criminal networks, particularly those specializing in crypto related crimes. As the suspects await trial, France and the entire crypto world will be closely watching, hoping justice is swift and sends a clear message: digital wealth doesn't mean you're above the law. This chilling case is more than just a terrifying story. It's a wake-up call for everyone involved in cryptocurrency and digital finance. Security experts agree that crypto investors must take proactive steps to protect themselves and their families. Here's what they recommend. 1. Keep your digital wealth discreet. Limit how much information you share publicly about your crypto holdings or personal details online. 2. Use multiple crypto wallets and keep larger amounts stored in offline, secure hardware wallets protected by strong passwords and multi-factor authentication. 3. Regularly assess your physical safety. Consider investing in private security measures like home security systems or personal safety apps. And most importantly, always remain vigilant not just online, but in your everyday life. Remember, in a world where digital wealth can make you a physical target, staying cautious is your best line of defense. As we've seen today, digital fortunes can bring real world dangers, threats not just to your finances, but to the safety of you and those you love. The kidnapping and rescue of Jean Bernard Lafonta highlights an alarming trend that's only just beginning. But now I want to hear from you. If you found yourself in a situation like this, would you pay the ransom or call the police? Do you think crypto holders need more protection, or is risk simply part of the deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss. And if you found value in this deep dive, make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on for more stories uncovering the hidden dangers lurking behind the headlines. Until next time, stay aware and stay safe.